I'm glad we have an open week this week. We need one. We're, a little bit banged up. I think everybody is this time of year. We're not any different than anybody else in that regard. But we have had some injuries at some spots that have hurt our depth. Specifically defensively. We've been banged up at safety. When you go back and look at the guys that we had, that we planned on playing with this year, and kind of the way it's worked out, we've certainly had some depth, and those guys have done a good job for us, and have played well at times, and so and then we're a little bit banged up front, but we'll heal up. Everybody is this time of year. We're not any different than anybody else, so it's good that we had an open date. Was disappointed, in the way we started the game Saturday night against Oregon State. Just did not play well early in the game. Talked about the importance of playing well early on the road. For whatever reason, the message wasn't well received, and our guys just didn't we didn't do a good enough job getting them ready to play. And so certainly wasn't our best effort, but I think our guys were disappointed and know that we need to play better, and we're excited to be home. We've played pretty well at home, and we've had some challenges on the road. We're still young teams. Typically, that's about the last thing that comes around is they learn to win on the road. So we need to play well this week. Again, we'll take advantage of the open date, get a lot of work done this week. Rest some guys that need a little bit of rest, and get them, the balance between rest and work that they need in order to be ready to play, a week from Friday. So, at the end of the week, we'll hit the road, do some recruiting on Friday, have some guys leave Thursday night, and so get out and do some things that for the future as well.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take questions. Reminder to make sure to ask for the microphone. Thank you.
You touched on this on the teleconference earlier, Sonny, but could you give us a little bit more detail on the status of Chad and also Davis and the nature of their injuries?
Yeah, Chad got rolled up, has an ankle injury. We'll see how he does. I mean, he's played so many plays this week. Our goal was to give him a couple of days off and rest him up anyway. I think he's feeling better. We'll see how he responds to treatment this week. And Davis is kind of the same way. We'll give early part of the week, give our young quarterbacks, Ross and Chase, a chance to get a lot of reps first part of the week and see how he responds. He's got a hand injury that, I think he'll be fine. But it's one of those things, he's sore right now, and so we're going to let him heal up.
And can you tell us how did it hit somebody's helmet, or?
He's not sure how it happened. Yeah, okay. I think he fell on the ground and got his hand jammed.
It's very early, but do you expect both of them to be ready for Oregon?
Yeah, it's early, but we're hopeful for both of them.
Last week when we talked to you, one of the big themes was being ready to go on the road, not overlooking a team that you could overlook perhaps. And then you just touched on the fact that that's what happened. How disappointed are you that you guys had really sort of drilled that into everybody and you sort of came out so flat
we did.
On Saturday?
Yeah, I was disappointed. I was disappointed in just, again, I thought, those were things that certainly we addressed, certainly we warned them about. We talked a lot about, taking care of our business and doing things the right way, and we practiced well. I felt like we had a really good week of practice and approached the game well, and then once it got started, we just, they kind of got after us early, and we didn't respond very well. The one thing I'll say this, I was really proud of our guys for rallying at the end, and giving ourselves a chance to win. But as I told the team afterwards, you can't play half of a football game and expect to win, and that's kind of what we did the other day. And so, we can't do that.
Davis is usually so good on the long ball, and given, as you saw, the long ball, he wasn't quite feeling it with his hand. Did you ever think about putting somebody else in there?
No, we didn't. Nope.
Sonny, you're 6 games in with 6 to go. Can you sort of evaluate what you've liked about your team so far and what you're not so happy about?
Yeah, it's a little bit like we said at the beginning of the year. We just said, look, if we play well, we're going to have a chance to win, and that's the way it's been for us. Is it's a wide open league. It's everybody is knocking everybody off. It's an unusual league. There's not a lot of not a lot of separation between the teams in the conference right now. There's just not, and so everybody's done a good job of recruiting. The league is very well coached. Players have developed at other programs maybe that have been behind a little bit, and they're catching up. And so, it's tough. It's tough every Saturday. Everybody's getting better, and it's if you look around the league and you say, well, there's just not a lot of programs that you look at them and say, wow, that's not a good team. Everybody's got a chance, and so. It's different. Like I said, I've been around, coached in other leagues. This league's different that way, even more so this year than most. For our team specifically, when we play well, we have an opportunity to win. We've done that at times, and you go down and you look at every single game this year, it's really boiled down to 1 or 2 plays in pretty much every game, maybe except for the first one. Where you could, say, if we don't make this play, then we don't win, and if we do make this play, we do win. And so, we're close to being where we want to be, but we're certainly not there yet.
And in terms of specific areas of the game,
I think
what you like and how I don't know, concerned probably more than that are you about the rush defense?
Yeah, I'm very concerned about our rush defense. Clearly, that's how people. I think people saw the Texas film, saw the San Diego State film, where we gave up a lot of yards rushing, and said, okay, here's what we want to do. We can run the football against these guys, keep their offense off the field, and I think that's become everybody's formula, and so we're trying to get it fixed, addressing it, and spending every minute we've got to figure it out and to play better. And we have at times, and we have in certain key situations, just like we did at the end of the Utah game. Clearly, holding them out at the 1 yard line was pretty significant right at the end of the ball game. But at the same time, there's been times where our rush defense has not been good, and it was not good the other night. And we've given up way too many big plays. That's the thing that's hurt us more than anything else, is just the amount of big plays we've given up, defensively. And part of that issue is not having some of the safeties that we should have out there that are really good at getting guys on the ground. The DeMarie Drews and the Griffin Pyatts and those guys that aren't with us, because that's their strength is open field tackling and getting guys on the ground when we need them to get on the ground. And giving up a 12-yard gain instead of a 50-yard gain, and we haven't tackled as well on the back end as we need to help us not give up those long runs. In the games we haven't given up long runs, we've had opportunities to win. You just go back and you look. San Diego State hit us on a bunch of long ones. Clearly we gave up a bunch of big runs against Oregon State last week, and Arizona State as well. So that's when we don't give up big plays defensively, we're going to have opportunities to win.
Okay, anybody else? Further question?
Yeah, Coach, how much do you think the competition for the backup quarterback spot is going to play into practice this week?
Yeah, it'll be good. It's been a good competition for Ross and Chase both. I think they've both improved and gotten better. They'll get the lion's share of the reps this week, so we'll kind of have an opportunity to sit back and evaluate it and spend some time looking at it. Clearly, we've you always need to develop your young quarterbacks. That's part of building a successful program, is developing your young players, and particularly that position. We have confidence in both of them, and look forward to the other young guys developing as well as they get more reps. So it'll be a good week that way. We'll assess it on Thursday, talk about it through the weekend, and see where that takes us, on Sunday.
Sonny, do you see any opportunity on the schedule, given how competitive it is, that you actually could get either of those guys into a game?
You know, who knows? I mean, who knows how these games are going to go? I mean, you look at games every week, and you have no idea how it's going to play out.
Is it obviously there's some advantage to getting them some game experience as you look ahead to next year? I presume, right?
Yeah, certainly. We'd love to play them in some games. I think the best game experience you can get them, though, is get to a bowl game and get all those extra practices.
Right. One of the positives the other day looked like it was your run game, especially second half. Can you talk about that and how you can carry that forward?
I thought we ran the ball well. Yeah, I thought we ran the ball well, and you know, I thought Jake did a good job sticking with it. Sometimes when you're down and you're calling plays, it's hard to keep calling runs. I thought he showed, you know, patience and you know, some foresight continuing to run the ball. I thought our backs ran hard. Having Califani back was a big deal for us. You know, I thought he played very, very well. Thought Trey played well. Was really impressed with some of the things we did up front. You know, and so it was good for us to be able to come out in the second half and run the ball that way, and it gave us a chance. We scored 24 points in the fourth quarter, and it gave us a chance to win the ball game, even with a quarterback, you know, that was a little bit banged up.